we had talked about creating a table with primary key, okay, then creating a column not null, and then with default options. Also, we had talked about some of the select keywords built-in commands like length as well as trim, okay. Then after that part, what we saw is we went through select with where condition, okay, and then sorting, ascending and descending. Also we talked about update statements. When we do update for the whole table or we update only specific rows, we did that. Also we talked about varchar columns also, okay. So this is what we have seen in the last class. This class we are going to further progress in Oracle database concepts. Okay, now I'm connected to Oracle. Today let me just describe this table. Describe my table. There are 4 columns available in this: employee ID, employee name, designation and date of joining. Suppose I feel I forgot to add one more column, maybe like salary, right? If I want to add salary into this, how do I add? So existing there are 4 columns. I want to add one more column to this particular table. That is where you will use the DDL, data definition language, the other command, alter, okay. Alter table. Alter is a command. As I said, remember, create, alter, drop. These 3 keywords are extremely important in databases. Alter table, the table name, my table. Then I want to add one more column. I simply say add. Add, again within bracket, I'm going to give the new column definition, salary. Now I say number. Suppose I say 7 digits and 2 decimal places, number 7,2, and then I close the bracket, I put a semicolon, enter. Now it says table altered. Let us describe the table now, okay. Now you could see the 5th column, salary, got added and it says number 7,2. That means 7 integer portion, 2 decimal places. So if you want to add a new column, you can always say add. Suppose I add, by mistake I added a column. For example, I add one more column, alter table, my table, add a new column called say XYZ. I'm just giving a name, XYZ, character of 2, okay. Imagine that I added by mistake, okay. Previously I added a column, salary, which has got 7 integer portion and 2 decimal places. So this is a floating point number because it always has a paisa component, right? Now I added this new column. Let me describe this table. It has got one extra column called XYZ. Now I want to remove that column, okay. XYZ, I want to remove this column, you can always say alter table. Okay. Before that, I want to rename this column XYZ. If you want to say alter table, my table, rename, I think the syntax, let me just check, rename column XYZ as ABC. Let me just check that whether the syntax is right. Okay. I think okay. It says rename the column XYZ. It has indicated to use the keyword to also to rename. Now it says table altered. So I can add a new column. If I feel that the name is wrongly given, I can always say rename the column. Now let us describe the table once again. Now previously what was showing as XYZ, now that column has been renamed as ABC. Now I feel, okay, this column ABC I have given as character 2, which is an unwanted column, I want to remove. Okay. So you can always say alter table, my table. I say drop. Let me say drop column ABC. Okay. Let me just check the syntax. Okay. Now it says table altered. Alter table, within that I am removing only one column. Now let us do a describe once again. See, that column is gone. It's same like in Excel sheet, you can add one more column, rename the column, right? And then delete that column, select the column and then delete it, right? Now, someone has asked the question, you gave lowercase ABC, but it is printing on uppercase. Oracle, again, internally it is case insensitive. All the column names, when it displays, it always displays in uppercase letters. But the names are, you can use either uppercase or lowercase. It doesn't matter in Oracle. Now, one more thing. The designation column, character 3, right? Now I feel I need to have it as 5 characters. Previously I have given it as 3 characters. Now I want to modify that to 5 characters. That means I'm increasing the width. If you want to do that, again alter table, my table. Rather than add, you have to say modify. That means you are going to modify a column. Modify within brackets, I'm saying designation, and then character of 5, right? Let me just enter that. Right? Now it says altered. Let us do describe once again, see whether it has taken effect. Look here. Previously designation was 3 characters. Now I modified it to 5 characters. So just now what we have seen is alter table. Alter table is one of the data definition language commands in which you can add a new column to the existing table. You can modify the field width of the column. You can remove a column and you can rename a column. In some of the previous versions, they have not allowed dropping a column, but now in Oracle 10G Express, they have allowed people to remove a column also. One of the things when you do modify, it is always good to increase the size. From varchar 3 to varchar 5 is always fine. But if you reduce the width, suppose I have got employee name as 30 characters, now I reduce it to 20 characters. If some names have got 25 characters, you will see data truncation. So before you are doing any of the data definition, altering the table, you must get prior permission from your project management and the client on why you are changing. Otherwise, it may lead to data truncation or a data permanent loss. Is this clear to you all? Can you please raise the hand if so? Okay, very good. Let us proceed to the next concept. Let me say select star from my table. Okay. Right now there are no records. Now what I want to do is I want to add a lot of records. Okay. When I want to add a lot of records, one way I keep on typing insert statement. That's possible. Or I can type it in a data file, okay, or in a SQL file. I open a notepad. I open a notepad file. So if you want to do bulk data insertion, okay, now I'm saying insert into my table values. I'm giving employee ID as 101, employee name as A, employee designation is VP, date of joining as date. Now we have given salary, right? Now I'm saying 1234.50. okay, this is a record. Okay, same way I want to give a lot of records like this. It is easy for me to cut and paste in a notepad and then easily edit them, right? 1 or 2, name is B, and the designation is let's say AVP. Okay, instead of 1234.50 I'm giving 2234.50. Now let me give a lot more 5 insert statements over here. Okay, and by default the table has employee number as primary key, so I need to give unique values over here, correct? Now let me change the names also, because anyway though we have not given a unique constraint over there, now I'm saying let us give a name also. E, okay. SVP, and then GM, okay. This is 3334, then again 44, then 5. Okay, now I have stored all these things in a file. Now I'm going to save this file. Okay, don't save it as .txt. okay, I'm going to save this in C drive. Okay, root. Okay, in C drive, rather than storing it as a .txt file, I'm storing it as SQL file. Okay, data.sql. okay, you have to store it as SQL file, data.sql file. Fine, now I have stored it. I go to the run SQL command line. Okay, I moved from this window to that window. All the commands are in .sql file. If you want to execute all of them in a single shot, okay, if you want to execute all of them in a single shot, it's very simple. From the prompt you give @c:/data.sql. just watch. I have given 5 insert statements in that data.sql file. Instead of cut and pasting that Here you simply say at meaning take every line of the file, execute them one by one. Okay. Okay. Once you do that, it says one row created. Now let me see whether it has really created the data. Select star from my table. It has created all the data, correct? Now, is this clear to you all? Putting all the statements in one .sql file, executing it from the prompt using @sign. Can you please raise the hands if so? Super. Great. You cannot use a text file because the extension has to be .sql, right? So you have to use .sql file. Now, the next thing that I want to show is aggregate functions. Aggregate functions meaning it operates on a set of records. A set of commands operating on a set of records. That means aggregate function. For example, I want to know how many records are there in the whole table, right? Now, to find out how many records are there in the table, you have to use select count star from the table name. Count star meaning it will fetch out how many records are there in the table. So right now there are 5 records. It is giving us 5. So any command that operates on a set of records is called aggregate function. Now I want to know what is the highest salary in this record, in the set of records. Select max of salary. Max is again another aggregate function from my table. Okay. It is showing 5234.5 is the maximum salary. Same way, we can do what is the minimum salary. Select min of salary from my table. Right? That is also showing what is the minimum salary within this table. I want to find the average of these salaries. Again, select AVG of salary from my table. That means get me the average. So it adds all of them, divides by the number of records. It gives you the average. I want to have the total. If you want to have the total, select sum of. The moment you say sum, it totals up all the salaries and then giving a value. So we have used count, max, min, average, sum. All these things are operating on a set of records. Okay. When they operate on the same on a set of records, that is called aggregate function. Is this clear? Are these aggregate functions clear to you all? Can you please raise the hands? Good. Okay. Again, the min, max can operate on integer as well as character, whereas the average and sum, they operate only on numeric fields. So if you try to, for example, let me try, right? Select sum of designation from my table, right? The moment I say sum, it says this column designation is not a number, right? It does not contain number, so you cannot apply that. So if you give a wrong column which has got non-numeric values, the sum cannot be applied, the average cannot be applied. So these are called aggregate functions. Is this clear? Perfect. Because in the webinars we keep asking, is this clear? Because I don't see your face, you don't see my face, so we cannot see each other's body language of understanding. So we need to ask these questions, and all it needs is click on the hand symbol on your right hand side, on the top, on the right hand side top. That will tell me that yes, you are acknowledging my question. It's a simple mechanism. Okay. Now the next thing that we are going to see is, we have got, let me select all the records. Select